Okay, Jake.
I told you.
Desmond O'Leary.
Huh?
I know you work for him.
Now you're just making stuff up. Why would you say that?
I saw the shamrock in your locker. I know what it means.
Okay, let's say you're right. So what? What are you gonna do, huh?
We're pals. I won't do a thing. But please, tell me the truth.
Okay, I guess I should have said something. Business isn't going that well lately. Natalia was my last well-paying job, and it's been a while. Then O'Leary shows up and offers me a bodyguard contract. What was I supposed to do?
Yeah, I understand.
Seriously, you don't seem like the type to accept shady offers.
I'd never take a job like that. As a matter of fact, I turned one down today, but that's just me. I'm no one to judge.
Hey, O'Leary might run an illegal gambling operation, but it's not like he's killing people or conning widows, and I'm just a bodyguard. I make sure no one gets hurt. What I do, including my contract and paycheck, is 100% legal. How bad can that be?
Yeah, you're right. The fact that his business is illegal doesn't turn you into a criminal. We're only accountable for our own actions. But that's not what bothers me. I know you're covering up O'Leary's role in Joe Dunn's death.
Huh? O'Leary? No way. I mean, I don't think so.
Jake, please.
Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it now. I was here the day Dunn died.
Go on.
I had to take care of some business for O'Leary. He makes me wear the shamrock when I work for him. As you know, I left the damn thing in my locker. So, I decided to come in the back door. Joe had mentioned he'd been painting that afternoon, but I forgot. I stopped in my tracks when I saw him screaming bloody murder at Bobby Yale at the top of the scaffold.
What exactly was he saying?
Something like, if you do that, I'll call off the fight and make sure you never set foot in this gym again. I didn't want them to see me, so I left.
Jake, why didn't you tell me?
I thought you'd be pissed off.
Well, you were wrong.
I'm sorry, John. I should have said something.
You should have. Let's just say you owe me one, all right?
You sure drive a hard bargain, John. All right.
Time to go. I need to think about everything you just told me. Arthur Tucker painted the racial slur on Yale's locker. Do you remember anything else about Joe Dunn and Bobby Yale's argument?
No, not really, no. Only Joe yelling. If you do, I'll call off the fight and kick you out of the gym.
Not all folks are as open-minded as Dunn. I happen to know who painted the lockers. Arthur Tucker.
I knew it. I knew it was him, that bastard. I'm gonna whip the white out of him.
Miss Dunn, can I run a couple of questions by you?
If they'll help you find Yale, go ahead.
Did you and your father get along?
Let's just say our relationship got better when I left for Sunny University. An 8-hour drive from here.
Meaning?
I'll lay it out for you, Mr. Blacksad. My father, Joe Dunn, disappeared the day my mother died. He became a shell of himself. Joe Dunn, my legal guardian. A man who gave me food, shelter, clothing, and an education. And that's more than you need to know.
Did you get along with Bobby Yale? Okay. Forget it.
I wouldn't give a damn about him if it weren't for this stupid gym his stupid fight is supposed to save. Happy?
What do you think about Mary, the cleaning lady?
Can't say. I barely know her. And I'm not one who's quick to judge other people.
What's in those papers you're going through?
Red tape.
Great. If you find something, please let me know.
I thought you were the detective. You do your job, and I'll do mine.
What can you tell me about Jake?
I thought you were friends. Guess I was wrong. He and my father were friends, so don't go down that road.
Thanks. That's it for now. I get it. You don't like me. But there's something you need to know.
I'm all ears.
Rest assured, I'll find Bobby Yale.
Duly noted, Mr. Blacksad.
I'd like to take a look inside that safe now. Could you give me the combination?
I'd love to help you, but my mother's birthday used to be the combination, but I already tried it.
Could you tell me your birthday
Of course, March 6th.
and the year?
I'm 24, Mr. Blacksad. You do the math.
No luck. Seemed like a happy family. What exactly was he saying?
Something like, if you do that, I'll call off the fight and make sure you never set foot in this gym again.
Looks like a chest expander, doesn't it? I might just be the last person in New York without a TV. Who needs one anyway? Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning to you.
John Blacksad, Private Eye. Would you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Not at all. Proceed, Your Honor.
Were you here on Sunday afternoon?
Yes, indeed, kind prince. I came down to watch TV after having run the New York City Marathon in record time.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Just like life, that was short. But then again, all things short fit me like a sock. It just so happens that you can, apple of my eye, do this old man a favor and bring him some sustenance.
All right. He opened it during the war? That's odd. Mary Purnell, the person who found Dunn's body, works a block away from the gym. I'm certain she can give me the kind of information that
Hey! Watch where you're going, you jerk! You looking for trouble, moron?
Sorry. Really, I'm sorry.
You better be, you wuss!
And there you go. We'll miss you at Sam's Diner. Come back soon. Welcome to Sam's Diner. What can I get for you?
Blacksad, Private Eye. I work for Sonia Dunn. I need to ask you some questions about Joe Dunn.
Sure, but I'm working right now. Maybe later?
Please, I need to find Bobby Yale as soon as possible. And I think you can help me.
All right.
What can you tell me about Sonia Dunn?
I barely know her, but she looks like a smart girl, poor thing.
Any ideas where Bobby Yale could be?
How am I supposed to know? He's rarely there when I clean the gym. Bobby seems like a nice kid, but I barely know him.
What do you think about Jake Ostiambi?
Who? Who's that?
A big gorilla. Boxer, too. A friend of Joe Dunn's.
Oh, yeah. I barely know him. I don't like how he looks at me.
Can I ask you about your job?
Which one?
Tell me about your work here in the diner.
Oh, it's wonderful. I love it. My boss.
Oh, glad to hear that. How long have you worked at the gym?
It's been, 4 or 5 years? Although, I don't think I'll be able to set foot in there again.
This must be really hard for you. I'm sorry. Other than the diner and the gym, you don't work anywhere else, right?
I wouldn't have the time, although I'm not sure I want to continue working at the gym.
It might be best to stay away from the gym, at least for a while, for your own well-being. In due time, things might change.
Joey used to say the same thing. Maybe. I don't know. Thanks.
Let's talk a bit more about Joe Dunn. What kind of boss was Joe Dunn?
A good one. Always paid on time, never raised his voice. If I asked for the day off, he even cleaned the gym.
How was Joe Dunn outside the gym?
I wouldn't know. I only saw him at the gym or right there. That was his spot. I think everyone liked him.
Can you tell me how you found Dunn's body?
Well, I thought I was alone. I clean early in the morning before Mr. Dunn comes in.
Oh, so you have keys to the gym.
Yes, of course. There was paint on the floor, so I thought it'd be a busy morning. And then I saw him, hanging there, like a baby mobile over a crib. Then I think I panicked. When I calmed down, I called the police and waited outside. Sorry, that's all I can say.
Don't worry. But if you remember anything else, let me know. Thanks, but I still don't get why he'd commit suicide. Maybe he simply had money issues.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be. The gym didn't really get that dirty lately.
I heard his relationship with his daughter wasn't ideal.
Oh, really? Poor man. I don't have kids, but that has to be really hard.
His wife died years ago. Maybe he never got over it.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe he did. That was a long time ago.
Can I have a hamburger, please?
Oh, sure. Regular or cheese?
I think I'll get the cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm. You want fries? A drink?
No, that's it.
Okay. Is that for here or to go then?
To go, please.
One cheeseburger to go, Sam.
Okay.
They look puffy and tired. Sleepless nights? Hectic days? Or has she been crying? Perhaps all of the above. Smells like cinnamon. No, cinnamon and burgers. Her handwriting is nice and neat.
Your burger is ready.
All right, I'll let you enjoy your meal.
4 people used the back door that very same night.
What?
Well, I might be blind as a bat, but as you can certainly see, I have 2 wonderfully functional ears.
4 people used the back door 2 days ago?
Yeah, that's right.
Who was the first person to use the back door?
Someone big unlocked the door, stepped inside, then came right back out.
Who was the second person to use the back door?
A man, just a few minutes after the first person. He came back out muttering, "Ungrateful bastard." Then he threw something in the trash and walked back in. Oh, no, wait. Before that, he gave me a coin. A coin? I mean, do I look like I need spare change, huh? I mean, I'm staying at the Million-Star Hotel, for God's sake.
Who was the third person to use the back door?
Judging by the quiet footsteps, I'd say it was someone small. I'd say it was about 30 minutes after the second person came out. Whoever it was threw something in the trash and stood in front of me for a moment. Then I heard a click. And finally, I heard trailing laughter in that direction.
Who was the fourth person to use the back door?
Someone big. I recall heavy breathing. The person left in a hurry, running in that direction.
Could he have been a train conductor? I wonder what it feels like to live without legs. Would I manage? Looks like someone used it as a punching ball. Blind and legless. How does he get by? Where did you get that paint can?
In the trash can in the back. I found it right after the comings and goings. I wanted to see what those people were leaving behind.
There's a chest expander in your cart.
A what expander?
A thingamajig with 3 springs.
Oh, the thingamajig with springs. Oh, I got it from the trash, back there. A paint can and a thingamajig with springs. What a night!
You were acting a bit strange before, but now you seem fine. Why is that?
Hey, you got great vision, sense of smell, and hearing. Why is that?
Well, I'm a cat.
Well, I'm a goat.
That's all for now. Thanks. Well, I know this much. The chest expander in the trash belongs to Yale. Joe Dunn or Joey Dunn?
Huh? Nobody called him Joey. Well, maybe his wife. Although, she didn't call him anything after she died.
What the?
What's wrong?
Someone's taking pictures from the rooftop.
Are you sure?
I'll go take a look.
Now, who's that rope for, Miss Dunn?
Weekly.
Now, who's that rope for, Miss Dunn?
Weekly. What the hell are you doing here?
Hey, look! Isn't that Cassidy?
Don't change the subject, you sad little...
Why don't we settle this over ice cream, huh, John? Just like in the good old days.
How did you get up here? I don't want anyone to see you. Everyone, even the most hapless of creatures, has a gift. Something that makes them special, that makes them worth knowing. Foul-smelling Weekly is no exception. No matter what he does, it's impossible to stay mad at him for too long.
This bourbon shake is delicious. Want a taste?
You know I don't like milk.
Your loss. So, Joe Dunn hangs himself and leaves his gym to his daughter, which makes her the first woman to run a boxing gym, I think.
I don't think Dunn killed himself.
What? Do you have a suspect? Any leads?
No, it's just a hunch. Although... I'd say a man did it.
Who? Do you have a particular man in mind?
I think O'Leary did it.
How could he be the murderer? I mean, he's a criminal and all, but he used to date Helen Moore, the tennis player. America's sweetheart.
Well, maybe someone close to Dunn helped him out.
Who? Are you sure? Do I know the guy or gal? Okay, don't tell me. But it's not like I've done anything to make you doubt me.
Well, it doesn't really matter. It's just a hunch. I wouldn't bet my life on it. And then there's the Walrus. Who was that guy?
Come on. You've never heard of Frank Cassidy? The president of the Boxing Managers Association?
Who's also Stone's agent, Bobby Yale's rival.
Hey, he might have a motive, right? He might know something about Dunn's death, right?
I decided to ask Weekly to investigate Cassidy. My reasons? Weekly was right. Cassidy could have had a motive to kill Dunn. Weekly had already proven to be nosy. The farther I kept him from the gym, the better. But with Weekly, you just never know what the best approach might be. Should I give him an order? Or a subtle suggestion? Yeah, you might be right about Cassidy. But, it won't be easy to make him talk. He seems like a pretty tough cookie. Only a thorough and efficient detective could pull it off. But the problem is, I already got enough on my plate.
You're a lucky man, John Black said.
I don't follow.
You just found the thorough detective you need.
Oh, of course. What a great idea. How did I not think of you?
Hey, don't sweat it. But you'll have to do me a favor. Tell Sonia Dunn that a legendary journalist from What's News wants an interview.
Weekly, please.
Well, if not, bye-bye, Cassidy.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Great. That's settled then.
So, was there really someone on the roof?
Yeah, but he was faster than me. I couldn't get my hands on him.
A fast spy and a slow detective. This must be my lucky day.
Dunn kept files on the gym's staff and clients. Name, address, and date of birth. Dunn kept files on the gym's staff and clients. Name, address, and date of birth. Big, bright eyes. Looks well rested. Either she didn't mourn her father, or she really knows how to work that makeup. Nice and steady heartbeat. I saw you arguing with a guy named Cassidy. What did he want?
Remember the fight that needs to take place in order to save this gym?
Well, Cassidy manages Yale's rival, Stone, the reigning champion.
If Bobby doesn't show up, he'll lose money. Maybe not a lot, but enough to care.
Did you find anything interesting in those papers?
No. Investigation work takes time, as I'm sure you know.
What leads a man to do something like this? Life's already dealt me a fair share of blows, but... I don't know why. Something just doesn't add up.
Thank you, Mr. Blacksad.
Does the postman always leave your mail on the floor?
I don't know,
What's wrong?
It's my mother's wedding ring.
Who had it?
I don't know. My father wore it on his pinky finger after she died.
Not always, apparently.
Will you find out why?
I'll try. But there's something else I'm worried about. This might have something to do with, with your father's death.
Oh my, yes. It could be. Will you please give me a moment?
Of course. Okay. Mary put the wedding ring in the envelope and wrote Sonia Dunn on it. But why did she have the ring in the first place? Were Mary Purnell and Joe Dunn an item? What if Mary's birthday is the combination to the safe?
Yes?
Feeling any better?
Yeah, I guess. Thanks.
And there it was, Mary's birthday, a week prior to that very day. I never would have taken Dunn for a gun owner. A few bucks, just petty cash.
You open the safe?
Yeah, and I think you need to see this. Can you tell me what it says?
All right. I think this might be useful for the investigation, Mr. Detective. He left everything to me, except some boxing trophies and knickknacks that'll go to Bobby Yale.
When was it signed?
It was written 4 years ago, just weeks after I moved to Buffalo.
Do you think Bobby Yale read it before he disappeared?
Maybe.
All right. Thanks. I know you're hiding something.
What?
You know what? You're the only woman who ever called Dunn Joey, except his late wife.
My goodness. I can't talk here. My shift is over in 10 minutes. Can you wait a while?
Can I get a refill over here, Mary?
Coming right up.
Mary Purnell, the angel Joe Dunn found in his golden years.
We'd been seeing each other for almost 2 years. It all started with, well, weekdays I start cleaning the gym at dawn, before my shift at the diner. Joey always came in early, just a little after I got there. He used to say it was the best time for the worst task of the day.
Oh, I know exactly what he meant. Did he help you clean?
No, poor Joey. I would never have allowed that. He did more than enough. Would even clean on my days off. Paperwork. He just hated it. But that was just him. Instead of putting off the things he couldn't stand, he did them as soon as possible. One morning, he saw me crying. I was having a rough day and...
He tried to make you smile.
He pointed at the coffee machine. You need a cup of joe and some fresh air. That was the first of many cups on the rooftop.
Which is where Dunn seduced you.
That word is a bit too much, Mr. Blacksad. You might be too young to understand this, but real love has little to do with seduction. One day, we realized those rooftop coffees were the best part of our day, so we began to spend more time together.
But you never told anyone. Why did you keep it secret?
For Sonia's sake. She and Joey drifted apart after her mother's death. He was afraid that our relationship would only make matters worse. Until one day, on the rooftop, we realized just how serious our relationship was, and we decided to turn those moments into a lifetime.
So he asked you to marry him.
Yes, of course. He gave me the wedding ring, and we decided to tell the world. He said he needed to share that happiness with his little girl. Turns out, he wasn't that happy after all.
What about Yale? Wasn't he like a son to him?
Maybe you already noticed, I have a slight cold. I really should be heading home.
Maybe you should cover your neck.
I lost my scarf a while back, not sure where. And now, if you'll excuse me, that's my bus stop. A pleasure to speak with you, Mr. Blacksad.
Did you know Joe Dunn had a gun in his safe?
No way, man. He hated firearms. Although, when Bobby Yale was a teenager, he went through a crazy phase. Even dropped out of the gym and joined the gang. Nothing serious. Early one morning, he broke in the gym. Joe was already here and caught him red-handed. Bobby pointed the gun at Dunn and ordered him to open the safe. So, Joe opened it and asked Bobby to put the gun aside, leave the gang, and start boxing again. I got here 5 minutes later and found Bobby crying like a baby in Joe's arms. Then he just stood up and put on his gloves.
Sonia's measurements stop at 18, and there's a gap in Bobby's between ages 15 and 17. Sonia's measurements stop at 18, and there's a gap in Bobby's between ages 15 and 17. Dunn's room had quite a view. I never asked about the gym's insurance.
That's exactly what I'm reading now. So far, it looks like your standard small business policy.
You see, I've got this friend. He's a journalist, and the thing is, well, he would like to interview you.
Why?
A woman running a boxing gym? That's quite the story.
And how did this friend of yours find out, exactly?
Well, you know how these things...
I don't even want to hear you. I just hope you prove your professional worth before the day is over.
There's something I never asked you about your father's will. All right. Thanks. I think I know who had your mother's ring.
You do?
Mary Purnell. I think she was in love with your father.
Thank you. Thank you.
I never asked about the gym's insurance.
That's exactly what I'm reading now. So far, it looks like your standard small business policy.
Thanks. That's it for now. Dunn's room had quite a view. I'd prefer a yellow Cadillac, but I can't complain. I'd prefer a yellow Cadillac, but I can't complain. Damn. Do you remember anything else about the day you found the thingamajig with the springs and the paint can?
Yeah, no. Wait. Yeah. Well, no. Now that I think of it, no. Hey, pal. How about thanking a good-looking goat with a cigarette?
Of course. Here you go.
Yeah, you think you're not responsible for my pathetic state? Think you're not to blame? It's the government that shipped me off to war.
They shipped me off too.
Oh, right. So then you know what it's like to kill too. Well, then another sad hobo shouldn't be a problem for you, Professor.
Yeah, I killed people.
And yet, you don't want to help me die. Wait, but that's not what I wanted to say. Oh, well, you know we goats tend to jump from one thing to another. The government paid for everything. Army fatigues, rations, weapons, lodging and hookers, drugs. Do you know where that money comes from? Taxes! Your taxes, my dear friend. You help them cut my legs. They declare war every chance they get, so that the weapon industry that finances their campaigns gets richer and richer and richer. And that's how we finance their wars. So the slightest connection with corruption turns us into accomplices. Unless one manages to keep at arm's length. That is what I did, my loyal disciple, at the Million Star Hotel. So, do you like your master, the great?
Hey, what's your name? You never told me.
Smirnoff.
Joe Dunn, the boxing coach. You hear anything about his death?
Like that. Is that you?
You got me. How's everything, Chief?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks for asking. Too much work as usual. As for Joe Dunn, he hanged himself in the story. I'm too busy, John. I can't afford to put a single man on the case. Why are you asking?
Dunn and the gym's cleaning lady were about to get married.
Great. Call What's News. They'll know what to do with such an incredibly interesting piece of information.
The combination on Dunn's safe was her birthday. He even gave her a ring. You know, your typical suicidal bliss.
Okay, I'm still not convinced, but I might have something for you.
Life is often off key, like a bad song. The notes come together but feel flat, unable to create anything resembling music. And yet, there are ways to string them together to create harmony. Ways that are not always entirely in our hands.
You look tired, John.
You look pretty tired yourself.
Yep, I'm beat. I'm starving. Just got back from the annual police medical. Not only did I have to fast, but I also had to chug 2 enormous glasses of water. John, you alright?
I've had better days, and I'll have them again, I hope.
We both deserve to. The thing is, I'd love to help you out with this case, but I can't. You know I work for the state of New York. If I had any information, I couldn't share it with a private eye. Even if it was lying on top of this table.
You said you were starving. Why don't you go to the counter and order something?
Yeah, sure, good idea. If you'll excuse me.
Interesting.
Now that I think of it, I better eat at home. It's healthier.
Thanks.
Truth is, John, it all seemed clear to me before, but now? Please, promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
Sure, you can trust me. I give you my word.
All right. In any case, keep me posted, will you?
Friend, you can count on it.
Take care, John.
As always, Smirnov had given me new, potentially relevant information. Not to mention second thoughts. When an old dog like him gets that serious, one must be prepared to bite. All right. Dunn punched a paint can, but why? Wasn't he calm and composed? Dunn must have punched the can while he was arguing with Yale. I guess that explains why he threatened to call the fight off. I'm much taller than Dunn, and I can barely reach the noose. There's no way Dunn hanged himself. Not on his own, at least. Bobby Yale. I don't know if you had a motive to kill Dunn, but you certainly had the murder weapon. Christ. Did Yale kill Dunn just because he wanted to call off the fight?
I always knew Bobby had issues. But I never thought he'd go that far.
Everything seems to point in that direction. I'm certain of it.
But he could have been framed, couldn't he? In any case, that doesn't change a thing.
It does, actually. Now we know he didn't kill himself.
My father's still dead, and you still haven't found Bobby Yale. Nothing has changed. Opening the safe and finding my father's will won't help us achieve anything. So please hurry. Time's wasting.
Sonia's indifference never ceased to amaze me. But most importantly, why was she suddenly defending Yale?
John Blacksad? I think I owe you an apology.
Apology accepted. But what exactly are you apologizing for?
Listen, I don't think my fellow workers treated you with the respect you deserve. I'm so sorry they wrinkled your suit. The thing is, they didn't know we shared a common goal. Bobby Yale. I want to find him and get to the bottom of this as much as you do, Mr. Blacksad. So please, kindly accept my invitation. Why not share our findings? Come on.
Of course. You don't mind me riding in this fancy car with a wrinkled suit, do you?
Aw, I think you look mighty dapper, Mr. Blacksad. Although, if those wrinkles were to rub off on me... I always play it nice and safe. Thank you, Blacksad. You won't regret this. So let's cut to the chase. I need Bobby Yale to fight Stone. There's just too much money at stake. So, I'm offering you my help to find Yale. Let's work together.
What kind of help do you need?
A simple exchange of information. You're a good detective, and I, well, let's just say I have my own ways of making people talk.
I think I'll have to pass this time.
Why? What? Do my own ways scare you? Please, hear me out. Let's say I bet a beer that we find Yale in 3 days, and you bet a beer that we don't. In 3 days, one of us has to buy the other a beer. Is that so bad? We're simply two grown men using our money and free will to conduct a small private exchange. And most importantly, we're not hurting anyone. So, yeah, I run a gambling business. What's so bad about that?
I can't really say.
Well, I can. Nothing. But I'll tell you what is wrong. The way our government is ruining America. We live in a so-called free country. A place where honest people can make a living, provided they don't hurt anybody. We're not communists. Well, at least I'm not.
I would have never thought otherwise. As for me, with all due respect, it's none of your business.
Ooh, all right. Never mind then. In any case, that's not my point. The government betrays our nation's values by passing communist laws that forbid an honest man like me to make a living without hurting a soul. And that, Mr. Blacksad, is just wrong. I'd even say it's unconstitutional. Do you get my point now?
All right, I get your point.
Ha! I knew you would. When the government passes these laws, there's only one legitimate weapon the people can wield. The same weapon that turned America into a great nation. Civil disobedience. So, as the proud American that I am, it's my duty to disobey.
Sure, but there's no room for your ways in civil disobedience.
My ways? Oh, I know what you're getting at. But what's past is past. I wasn't always a boss, you know. No, sir. I started at the bottom, when Lucky Blitzen ran this show. That good for nothing. His was a reign of terror, extortion, violence, you know, that sort of unpleasant thing. When I took over, I decided I'd make people want to do my bidding. Not out of fear, but out of gratitude. I decided to help people so they would help me.
That beating your thugs gave me was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Those poor bastards didn't even know you were a detective, that you were on our side.
Maybe at first, but when they tied me up and beat the socks off me, they knew very well who I was.
Seriously? That goes against my rules. Who was it?
Yeah, the two of them.
Bastards. But don't you worry. I'll have a talk with those two. I cannot tolerate this behavior. Please accept my apologies, Mr. Blacksad. You see, a lot of people work for me. Many families depend on my business. Not only that, St. Christopher's Hospice practically lives on my donations. The widows of my late employees are set for life. Their kids get free schooling. The cops leave me alone because they know my business doesn't hurt anyone. On the contrary. And, it looks like we're here.
Yale's apartment?
I told you, I'm on your side. Go ahead, search the place. I'll wait down here. When you're done, maybe you'll change your mind and share your findings with me. Or not. It's your call, Mr. Blacksad. I'll make sure you're suitably compensated. Colbert! Wilson!
The worst thing about O'Leary's boys dropping by isn't the beating, but the fact that I can't tell what's theirs and what's Yale's. Doesn't seem like the best food for a boxer. Then again, it could be your classic bookie thug lunch.
Bobby seems like a nice kid, but I barely know him.
Ugh. 17th century French fables. There must be one boring old lady. I'm not sure how Yale's love of pickles will help me crack the case, but it's good to know. A woman's fragrance. Almost angelical. Copy 1 of 3. Do you know any of his relatives?
His father, Avenarius.
Avenarius? The boxer poet? Didn't he disappear 20 years ago? Why would you want such a big closet for so few clothes? Unless someone emptied it recently. Nice chain. So, you like your mob stories, don't you, Bobby? Seems like Bobby inherited something more than boxing skills from his father, besides the tendency to vanish into thin air, of course. Judging by the general state of the apartment, they were leading a quiet life. She's been here recently, but why? What does Sweet Mary have to do with Yale, the murder suspect? Copy 1 of 3. Do you know any of his relatives?
His father, Avenarius.
Avenarius? The boxer poet? Didn't he disappear 20 years ago? Judging by the general state of the apartment, they were leading a quiet life. With people like O'Leary, you just never know. I didn't want to put Mary at risk. Why not take her a little something instead? I've never trusted angels.
Mr. Blacksad? What a...
Surprise? When they fall, they turn into demons.
Joey told me he was going to spend the afternoon painting the gym and that Bobby would be fixing something up on the roof. So, after I found the body and called the police, I went to Bobby's place, but he wasn't there.
How did you open the door to his apartment?
I think it was already open. Everything is so confusing. I'm sorry, Mr. Blacksad.
Don't be. I'm here to figure it all out. What's your relationship with Bobby Yale?
He was like a son to Joey, and we were about to get married, so, you know.
Okay, I think it's time to set things straight. I knew you were cheating on Dunn with Yale. Or was it the other way around?
No! How can you even think of something like that?
How can you convince me otherwise? I found a picture at Yale's apartment. It's you and him on a roller coaster. Care to explain, Miss Purnell?
I'm not white, Mr. Black said.
What?
7 of my great-grandparents were white. The 8th was black. According to law, I'm a black citizen, even if my skin says the contrary. Do you know what that means when you're born in North Arlington, Alabama?
Segregated schools and a worse education for colored children.
We even have different water fountains, for God's sake. The separate but equal doctrine and all that.
That crap.
And all the lies. That's why I moved here. No one knows what color my great-grandparents were.
I completely understand you, Mary.
Just think if you were also a woman. He's my nephew, Mr. Black said. Joe and I first started taking care of poor Bobby when my sister died. That was when he was almost 15. The 3 of us went on that trip to Luna Park.
So this is where Joe Dunn comes in.
Bobby was the only one who knew about me and Joey. We were afraid that someone would use my past to ruin his career.
It's not the first time I hear that story. I'm sorry I accused you so lightly.
Don't worry, I understand.
TV and radio all in one. Where will these mad times lead us? Mary smells like... Actually, the whole room smells like a pie fresh out of the oven, so I can't identify any other fragrances. Fresh out of the oven. The whole room smells like pie. That cherry pie smells so good. I'm starting to get hungry.
Thanks. I pulled it out of the oven right before you arrived. Oh, where are my manners? I'm the worst hostess in the world. Let me go get a knife from the kitchen. And you must be thirsty. Let me see. OJ? Coffee?
OJ is fine, thanks. She's wearing the same clothes in both pictures, so she's probably telling the truth. That's some beautiful artwork you got there. You should open a bakery and sell these pies.
Thanks. Joey used to say the same thing.
About Sonia Dunn and the ring. I managed to hide the truth from her.
I appreciate it, but at the same time,
What?
no, nothing. Maybe she has a right to know.
Your secret is safe with me.
I'd like to believe you.
I couldn't help but notice a queen-size bed in the room.
You what?
Sorry. I had to make sure Bobby Yale wasn't hiding in there.
Oh, yeah, sure. Joey bought this place. It was going to be our home after the wedding. I left my apartment and moved in so I could save some money.
If he had left his own apartment and moved in, you could have saved twice the money.
I'm no hooker, Mr. Blacksad.
Now that there's almost no pie left, the scent has also disappeared. Interesting. Now Mary smells like a huge dog. Mary, when are you going to stop lying? I know your nephew is here. I can smell him.
What? No. I already told you I don't know where he is.
Look, I understand why you're protecting him, but it's in his best interest to end this hide and seek.
You can search the whole house if you want. Go ahead. He's not here.
Wait a minute. She's not the one who smells like that. That's where Bobby Yale's scent is coming from. So, that's why you were sitting there.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Could you step aside so I can check, please?
Please go.
Mary, for Christ's sake, put that knife down, would you?
Leave or I'll...
Mary, I came here to help.
I mean it.
I don't want to hurt you.
Leave her alone!
I'm on your side, Bobby.
But I'm not on yours!
Call an ambulance. Do as I say. Go on, call an ambulance. Do it now. In the face of a heart attack, there's two things you can't forget. 1. Stay calm. 2. 1 chest compression per second. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. 5 Mississippi. One Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. 5 Mississippi.
Bobby. Oh, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. Bobby. Thank you.
I had lots of reasons to consider this a great day. I had investigated a suicide case. I had discovered that, in truth, we were dealing with a murder. I had found and captured the prime suspect. And I had saved a life. And yet, everything in me screamed that something was going wrong. Terribly wrong.
Promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
I want a gun!
What the hell?
Bang, bang, bang!
A fair amount of violence, extortion, and casualty.
I hate detectives.
Bang, bang, bang!
You're dead to me, cat.
That you, Smirnov?
You seem agitated. Nightmare?
Yeah, I have a lot of those.
Yeah, that makes 2 of us. Anyway, why don't you go home? In his current condition, Yale's not going anywhere. Besides, we'll take it from here.
Who is that? Can we trust him?
I know how to pick my men, John. You? I'm not so sure. You promised me you wouldn't intervene.
Bobby Yale attacked me. I had to do something.
If you had warned me, maybe we could have avoided his assault. Anyway, what's done is done. When exactly did you realize that he killed Dunn? Out of sheer curiosity. I'm a cop after all.
To be honest, I'm not so sure Yale killed anyone.
How about the motive? Any ideas?
I know Dunn wanted to call the fight off after something Yale did, but I still don't know what.
In any case, hopefully Yale will tell us more.
Would you let me ask him some questions when he wakes up?
I know you will, with or without my permission, so I'd rather not feel betrayed. In exchange, drop by the station when you can. Your investigation could really help my men. Who, by the way, must be waiting for me to interrogate Mary Purnell. Boy, she was hard to pry from Yale's side.
She's been through a lot in the past days. Be nice to her.
Of course. In spite of it all, we're not just vigilantes. And as for you, go get some rest. God knows you need it.
I will. Thanks for the advice.
Tell the nurses to look at that face of yours. You look like a film detective in his last scene.
I'm afraid this film isn't over yet.
For your sake, I hope you're wrong. You're in charge now, officer.
Okay.
I'll send you relief in 6 hours. Understood?
Doctor.
Who are... Oh, detective. Congratulations. You fared pretty well against that kid. Better than most would have. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Let's just say I got lucky. We, as a society, simply don't trust reptiles. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is our extended belief that there's logic to that distrust, that it's natural and well-founded. How's Yale? Is he awake?
Oh, yeah. Go check on him before he falls asleep again. Although, try not to bother him with too many questions.
Will this have long-term effects on his health?
It's too soon to tell. He did have a heart attack after all.
Go away. I don't want to see you. The doctor told me to sleep.
I rarely get to interrogate a suspect with his guard down in a place as quiet as this. Getting the chance to study his body language with no distractions is a rare gift. His heart rate is increasing. It could mean that he's lying, but it could also just be pure, unadulterated rage. He's looking straight at me. If he couldn't hold my stare, I'd think he's lying, but that's not the case. He's clenching his fist. A sign of contained anger. Clenched fist. Fast heart rate. Fixed stare. He feels some genuine rage towards me. I'm sorry you don't want to see me, but... I'm afraid you'll just have to put up with me.
For now. Luckily, I just got my medication. I'll be snoozing soon.
All right, I'll just cut to the chase. Who killed Joe Dunn?
What? Are you trying to confuse me? Joe hanged himself.
Dunn was too short to hang himself with that rope.
So, it's true? He was murdered.
I know the murder weapon was yours.
What? The rope? I don't get it. What weapon do you mean?
Don't play with me, boy. The chest expander.
An expander? I've never had one of those.
All right. let's just say that I believe you. The murderer killed Dunn with a chest expander and planted evidence to make us believe it was suicide. But he also left enough clues behind to make sure we found the true murder weapon. Then he put the chest expander box in your locker to frame you. Do you know anyone that twisted and who also happens to have a motive?
I don't know.
What about Sonia Dunn?
Sonia? I doubt it. She's odd, but she's his daughter.
I've seen worse, believe me. Desmond O'Leary certainly seems twisted enough. Did he have anything against Dunn?
I'm not sure if they knew each other. At least not in person. About a month ago, Joe kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym. He was trying to give a business card to...
Jacob's Giambi.
Yeah, exactly. Did Jake tell you about that?
Something like that. What about Frank Cassidy? Do you think he has a motive?
Maybe. A few weeks ago, Joe took me to a Boxing Managers Association meeting.
Headed by Cassidy.
Yeah. He was obsessed with making it illegal for boxers to fight without a manager. Or without an associated manager. Everyone seemed to go along with it until Joe spoke up. He said that would lower us to mob status. That Cassidy had founded the association just to make money by monopolizing the sport. That made others think twice. And Cassidy ended up empty-handed.
Poor Cassidy.
Blacksad, I think I owe you an, You know, my father disappeared when I was 6, right after winning a fight. We never heard from him again. Do you know what that does to a kid? Who knows where I'd be if Joe Dunn hadn't been in my life. Even when I lost my way and put a gun to his head years later, he still took me under his wing and managed to steer me in the right direction. And now that he's gone, you're risking your life to find his murderer. Thanks.
You're welcome. The number of cigarette butts is inversely proportional to my hours of sleep. Ah, damn. The hands say a lot about what's going on inside a person. Is that eye movement normal? He seems restless. Should I tell someone? Ugh.
See? There's no fever whatsoever. He must be having a nightmare.
Are you sure?
Wouldn't you have nightmares too after what he went through yesterday? I know I sure wouldn't sleep.
I have nightmares myself. but those go way back.
Oh, the poor thing. Do you know what my nightmare is? It's that witch I have to work with. Oh, good thing she's got trauma surgery at 12:30, but I wish it were a little sooner, you know? Anyway, thank you for letting me know. And for bringing him in. You don't know how excited I am to be involved in a criminal case.
It might not be important, but I need to take a look at his medical report. No, the footprints don't match. If Yale killed Dunn, he did it without stepping in the paint, or in different shoes.
Dunn's Jim. Sheikh Ostiombe speaking.
Jake, it's Blackside. I just wanted to...
I have work to do, John. Call you later. Ronald, get on that ring!
Hi.
You're awake, handsome?
I'll take a pack of Morley's, please.
Honey, get me a pack of Morley's for Mr. Handsome.
Yale's medical report is right there. Mind if I take a look?
No, I don't think so, Handsome.
What if you show me Yale's report and I buy you dinner?
You're handsome, all right, but I'm not stupid.
I won't be able to read Yale's medical report if she's around. It seems like the Doe nurse will be assisting Dr. Talbot during his 12:30 surgery. In 4 hours. Could I get them to operate any sooner? I won't be able to read Yale's medical report if she's around.